all the chariots coming behind him. And he's going to leave from the east, meaning Israel, that part of the world, and he's going to come to America. As a matter of fact, give me Zechariah, the 5th chapter, beginning at the 1st verse.
Zechariah chapter 5.
Let me ask you all this. Do y'all believe that this is going to happen? You got to believe that this is going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got these guys in the black conscious community talking about some evidence. We ain't got no evidence of this.
Totally on fake, baby.
We know this is going to happen, man. You know?
Man, look.
Man, like they say, do you really believe that a black man's going to crack them clouds and come? Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
That's right. America can't continue, man. You got that Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner.
Now, if that is not, Bruce Jenner, right? Bruce Jenner becomes a
Caitlyn.
Yeah, his name is he's Caitlyn now. Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. That madness can't continue, man. And they want us to accept that. Right. That a man can magically become a woman. So how can this place? How
well,
can
are
this
y'all
place
happy
continue?
about that? Y'all happy? I'm happy about it because it makes a mockery of the white man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let more of them be that way, man. Let all these white men turn into women, man. I'm with it.
But then,
I'm with you white men turning into women, man.
But that's
then
true.
you fulfill a prophecy.
But then you get like the scriptures speak about Lot vexed with the conversation of
be as women.
the scriptures speak about Lot vexed with the conversation of the wicked. That's an example of the conversation of the wicked, man. The fact that a man can become a woman, that's fucking bullshit, man. And then they want you to accept that. So that's one reason to get the hell out of here, man.
And they pushing that shit hard.
And nowadays you got the so-called transgender movement. You don't know if you're bringing home a woman or a man.
Y'all better watch out with these so-called fine-ass women, man.
Yeah, she might look real good, and she might turn out to be a he.
Because they're not going to tell you that they changed because they actually believe they're a woman. Why should they tell you that they were once a man?
Yeah, why?
They don't think like they always thought they were women. So you got to be careful with these so-called women. You know?
Yeah, bring it out. Quick preset.
Yep.
This is Jeremiah 51, verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. They became as women.
Yeah, a literal translation of that is Bruce Jenner. Yeah. They became as women. All right?
Caitlyn Jenner.
And that's an insult to somebody's intelligence, man.
Yeah, man.
So he might just be a Jake, man.
Yeah, he might be.
He might be a Jake.
But to accept the fact that
Jake, because Jake wanted, look at RuPaul. There's a nigga. There's a Jake.
Yeah, that's right.
But the Most High made a Jake, made him look like a white man to make you white people mad, man.
Yeah, the so-called white man, they don't want to talk about that, man.
That's right.
Bruce Jenner. Because that's like a blot. Oh, that's that scripture. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Thy shame shall be seen. That's a shameful thing, man.
Yeah, it is, man.
And then they got the thing, they got her posing on Vanity Fair magazine.
Looking like a damn woman, man. If you didn't know better, you would have thought it was a woman, man.
That's fucked up.
And that's Bruce Jenner.
That's a damn shame.
That's Superman from the 70s. He was on the Wheaties box.
Yeah. He won the decathlon. He was all man. Now he's all woman. And that's a blot on the so-called white man.
Hey, Johanna said on the show, that's America's sweetheart.
That's America's sweetheart. Go ahead, brother. And that's another reason why America. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for stuff like that. So America must be destroyed, and it will be destroyed dramatically. Go ahead, brother.
The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. They became as women.
Yeah, they became as women.
There you go.
And not only that, America is showing itself to be. Give me that scripture. Art thou become as weak as weak? Yeah, that links up with that. Because America is showing itself to be like a punk, man. Because you got other nations that are smaller than America that is talking shit to America, right?
Oh, yeah.
Used to be back in the day, America was big and bad. They could go and start a war with a nation, drop bombs on that nation. Like case in point, Japan, they dropped the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They can't do that shit no more. All right, go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 14 verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Yeah, that's talking about destruction. All right, hell meaning destruction, being brought down to a lower state. Go ahead.
It stirreth up the dead for thee.
Yeah, the dead is talking about the other nations. The reason why they're called the dead because they don't have as much power as America. So it's stirring them up. It stirs up the dead. Like, you know, the Arabs are stirred up. They want to shoot missiles on this place. Man. The Russians, all right? Which Russia is just it's a superpower just like America. But a small nation like Pakistan, they want to shoot missiles on this place. Iran, they want to shoot missiles on this place. Afghanistan, and we're living in that time when any day that could happen. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Even all the chief ones of the earth, it has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
All the kings of the nations. Go on.
All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Right. In other words, they're thumbing their nose at America. They're saying you're not as powerful as you used to be.
They were Bruce gender.
Yeah, and then you see
That's the symbolism of it.
right. Then you see things like Bruce Gender. America's appearing as a big joke on the scene, on the world scene, man. Big joke. Right. Go ahead.
It says, art thou also become weak as we?
Yeah, they become like women, literally. Go ahead.
Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Pomp meaning their pride. Like back in the last great decade for America, I would say, which was the 50s. All right. During the 60s, you had the so-called Vietnam War, which was nothing but a police action. That's when America started going down.
Yeah, late 60s.
Late 60s, America started tanking.
The big deal was
Right.
the Apollo. I remember that. They kept showing the Apollo. Everybody was glued to their seat with them big-ass box TVs.
That's right.
And the Apollo would go up. That was the beginning of the downfall. It was in the midst of the Vietnam War.
So that's what it means, brothers, when it says thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Like I said, during the 50s, there's videos of the great crooners of the 50s, like Nat King Cole and cats like that. They call America the golden age at that time. Because the war had just finished, and a lot of people were getting overtime because a lot of factories was in operation.
Yep.
People were buying. You could have a father could work and take care of the whole family. You didn't have the father and the mother working back in the 50s.
That was unheard of, man.
That was unheard of.
That's right.
Not like today. The father and the mother got to go. That shows you America's going down right there.
You work an 8-hour job and make good money. You know?
That's right. So now you got the father and the mother going to work. Back in the 50s, it was just the father. You seen Leave It to Beaver. June Cleaver didn't go to work. She stayed in the house and took care of the house. The father went to work, and his salary was able to take care of the whole house. So those days are gone. So that's the scripture.
Yep. Quick precept in
Bring it out.
Obadiah.
Bring it out.
It's, Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Yeah, like I said, at one time America was super proud. The fact that America has that eagle, that's a proud bird. You ever see the eagle? It flies higher than any other bird, and it looks down on the other birds. And its prey, it looks down at its prey and it swoops down with velocity. So that was the symbol of America. That is the symbol. I think one time they wanted to have the turkey. Yeah, Benjamin Franklin wanted to have the turkey as a symbol of America. Yep. But they chose the eagle. That's spiritual.
Yes.
Right?
Because this is Rome. That's the symbol of Rome, the eagle.
That's it. That's it. All right, brother.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead.
Whose habitation is high.
Whose habitation is high. Take a look around you. All right? Whose habitation is high. Go on.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Yeah, that's what they say in the Air Force. It says nothing can stop the Air Force. That's their slogan, the American Air Force. So that's the attitude of the so-called white man, in particular, the American so-called white man. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Who gonna take me down? Go ahead.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Though now, you can see that's talking about America. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. What's the symbol of America? The eagle. Right? And like I said, by the way, the eagle's a filthy bird. I think the so-called North American Indian, correct me if I'm wrong, they had to boil the feathers.
Yeah, clean them off.
Before they wore the eagle feathers.
Yeah, you just couldn't wear it.
Because it's a very filthy bird. And that's America. It's a filthy place.
Yeah, that's
Right?
how you get the understanding of Revelation 18.
That's right. See?
Behold, a very filthy and unclean bird.
That's right.
You know?
See how the scriptures come to life? Now I'm gonna tell you something. These elites of this society, they know these prophecies we've learned. They know, and they've been known it. That's why they're able to teach lies. In order for you to teach a lie, you got to know the truth. So they know the truth. They know America's going to be destroyed. That's why Planet of the Apes, that was all about the destruction of America.
Yes,
The first Planet of the Apes. Because this cat, Charlton Heston, at the end of the movie, he found out he was all that time, he found out he was in America. Because he was riding on that horse on the beach. Then he saw the Statue of Liberty destroyed. That's when he knew he was back on the planet Earth, particularly in America, right? So they know America's going to be destroyed. Go ahead, brother.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
And by the way, that was made back in 1969, brothers. No, I'm sorry, 1968. The first Planet of the Apes. So they've known. They've always known. Right?
Yeah, part 2 too. Planet of the Apes part 2. Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
That show you the destruction too, because the dude, the other, I forget his name. They show you he was underneath where the trains are.
Yeah.
The subway. The subway. He was right in New York. You know, right in America. And, you know, and then in that same movie they show you the missile. You know, they had a nuclear missile. And they were worshiping the missile. I guess it's supposed to be the Illuminati. They were worshiping the missile.
Didn't they have Alpha and Omega on it?
Alpha and Omega on the bottom.
Which is represent Yahweh Shai. And Fly.
You know, so that represents, because the Alpha and Omega is the beginning and the end. You know, so the Lord is one that's going to bring the end to this place. You know? So, you know, they'll show you in the movie, but, you know, you got these clowns that say, well, oh, you guys are referring to a movie? Yeah, because there's truth in the movie. Right. They're not going to give you the whole truth, but they're going to give you some truth, right, you know, that you can visually see what the scriptures are speaking about. You know, and it's not a coincidence that they got the apes playing, you know, the rulers over the white people. And all the white people that are cavemen, they're getting round up, beat up, you know, put in cages.
The Illuminati always does that. Yep. These top producers are illuminated ones. Like, for example, before the World Trade Center went down, they showed you in certain movies. There was one movie. How many of y'all saw this movie called The Long Kiss Goodnight? You saw the movie? Remember in the middle of the movie, the guy said that we're going to take down the World Trade Center and we're going to blame it on the Arabs. You know? Exactly.
Yeah, no,
and that was back in 1996. So,
hey, movies are spiritual, man. You know, the word theo, which means God. The word theater comes from theo.
Theater.
Yeah. So, theater, you see a movie where? In a theater. Hey, this is like a movie. Even Shakespeare made a statement. He said, all the world's a stage, and we're nothing but actors that play our parts. The Most High is the great director. He directs. Right? This thing of ours right now is a movie. Yeah. Right? Hey, when you read the scriptures, a good way of understanding the scriptures is you got to see it like a movie. You know, you got to, when you read, and thus Paul did preach and beckoned his hand, and you got to actually have an image in your head of Paul beckoning his hand, and you get into it, man. It's just like a movie. Right? Go ahead, bro.
It says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
So now, if this is a movie, right? You got, normally to carry a movie, you got to have the good guy and the bad guy, right? So the good guys, really us, Israelites. The bad guys, the so-called white man, Esau, in this movement. That's right. Those are the two stars. Now all the other nations,